Today we are going to focus on defense technology. We are not looking into the all the types of weapons India having. We are just focusing on the most important one, missiles and related topics as of now. So we will start with defense technology, that is ballistic missile. So whenever your missile technology is concerned, you will be came across or you will be reading about ballistic missiles and cruise missiles. The difference between two are very important for your uh, prelims examination. So if you consider ballistic missile, it will be in a projectile motion or it will be in a ballistic trajectory, a projectile motion. The basics of ballistic missile is that it will be in a projectile motion or in a ballistic trajectory. That is, once it is launched, it will be primarily in a same path. That is, before that we can guide that missile. That is, we can give guidance mechanism. For example, laser guidance or something like that can be given in the initial stage. But once it is launched, it cannot be rerouted. But instead of that, the cruise missile will be having a different approach. That is, throughout the period of flight or whenever the missile is in flight, it can be rerouted or it can be guided according to the requirement of target. For example, if the target is moving, it can also follow the moving target. That is the major difference between cruise missile and ballistic missile. That is, the ballistic missile will be primarily in a single projectile motion or a typical ballistic trajectory. That is the idea of ballistic missile, and it can carry conventional high explosive as well as chemical, biological, and nuclear munitions. Anything can be carried by ballistic missiles, and there can be, if you consider ballistic missile, there can be launched from aircraft, ships, submarines, or whatever it is, land-based silos or mobile platforms. Anywhere we can launch these ballistic missiles. And if you come to the cruise missile part, that is, we already said that there will be a course correction. Whenever required, we can correct the course of, for example, if the cruise missile is moving, there is a block before that missile, it can correct itself, or with this amount of technologies, with any type of technology, we can also change the course of cruise missile. So cruise missile is a guided missile, and it is used against terrestrial targets. Primarily, it is against terrestrial targets, but it can also be used in the air targets. And the idea is that the cruise missiles are designed to deliver a large warhead over a distance with a high precision. That is the major difference between this ballistic missile and cruise missile, is that it can be targeted with a high precision. High precision transfer will be there, and we have supersonic, subsonic, high subsonic, etc. And currently, the BrahMos 2 is supposed to be having. If you consider BrahMos 2, it is supposed to have a hypersonic capability. So remember that also, cruise missile, it can be readed. So you need to understand the difference between ballistic missile and cruise missile. First of all, the types present in India is that Prithvi 1, Prithvi 2, Agni 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then Dhanush missiles are examples of ballistic missile. At the same time, cruise missiles are examples are BrahMos missile, and also there is another one, Nirbhay. Nirbhay is a subsonic cruise missile. We will also look into that. So first one is ballistic missile. That is, it will be primarily using a rocket engine. That is, the missile will be guided to a very top point, and it will be coming down to a specified target. The precision is low, and it will be using the gravitational force to increase the impact of missile. And next one is cruise missile will be primarily using a jet engine, because it needs to change its course whenever needed. It needs to change its course. So what happens is that cruise missile will be changing its course. Due to that, it requires a jet engine. So first difference is that the ballistic missile uses a rocket engine. At the same time, cruise missile will be using a jet engine. And next comes long range. Next difference is that the ballistic missiles, if you consider the long range ballistic missile, consider this. It is consider Agni 5. It is an intercontinental ballistic missile. Once it is launched, it will be leaving the Earth's atmosphere and come back to this position, because to need to cover these 5,000 kilometer or 5,500 kilometers of range, they need to go beyond the atmosphere, Earth's atmosphere, and come back to the position. That only that is how only it can attack a specified region. As the distance increases, ballistic missiles need to go beyond a specific height. That is the idea. And related to, if you consider the cruise missile, it will primarily stay within the atmosphere, endoatmosphere, that is within troposphere itself. Most of the time it will be within the troposphere itself. And next thing is the ballistic missile is most of the time it will be unguided. It will be continuing with the already defined target, or for example, there is 4,500 kilometers of distance between the launch point and the target point. It will be already calculated, and all the maneuvering will be calculated, and after the launch it will be unguided. But in the case of cruise missile, it has high precision, and most of the time it will be guided. That is, we can change the course whenever, for example, the target is moving. We can also change the course of missiles. That is the idea. And next one is these missiles, that is ballistic missiles, will be having a range from 300 to 12,000 kilometers. Anything can be happen. That is, short range to very high intercontinental ballistic missile is possible. It is supposed to be, there is a missile known as Shaurya. It is supposed to be in development. We don't know the details. It is similar to the ICBM. Range is supposed to be having 8,000 or 9,000 kilometers in India. So remember that also, ballistic missiles can have a very long range. And most of the time, the range of cruise missiles within 500 kilometers. For example, there is MTCR, Missile Technology Control Regime. If you are not within the MTCR regime, you are going to have a limit of 290 kilometers. Beyond that is not possible. If you are in MTCR, we can have a missile more than that of 290 kilometers. And initially, if you consider BrahMos, development of BrahMos, you would have came across that. Initially, BrahMos was within the range of 290 kilometers, and after that, because of we joining in the MTCR regime, actually it is now around 400 kilometers. And another difference between ballistic missile and cruise missile is that heavy payload can be carried by ballistic missile. At the same time, the payload capacity is very limited in cruise missiles, because cruise missiles need to maneuver itself during the course of flight. And next one is the missiles can another important technology related to the ballistic missile is that multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicle. This is very important. Multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicle, you need to search for that also. For example, I will explain that what is MIRV technology. This is multiple independent re-entry vehicle technique, MIRV technology. For example, once the ballistic missile is launched, before it is entered, consider this is the atmosphere. Before this is entering, this is the target, and so this is target. And before this is entering, there is we identified that there are multiple targets. Consider there are multiple targets. This within this ballistic missile, there will be different or numerous warheads. There will be different warheads within the ballistic missile, and as it enters into atmosphere, it will be shifting into 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 as per the requirement. That is, there is multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicle. So it can be targeting, or ballistic missiles can be targeting different sets of targets at the same time. During the course of re-entry into the atmosphere, they will be converting, or they will be divided into different small missiles, and they can independently target the different targets. But if you consider the cruise missile most probably, or in the most of the times, will be having a single payload. That is, cruise missile will be having a single payload instead of multiple independent targetable re-entry vehicle. For example, if you consider that, you can have a statement. Consider the following statements related to cruise missiles. The questions will be like that. Question may ask that cruise missiles can have the MIRV technology. That is false. Only ballistic missiles have the technology to for multiple independently targetable re-entry worker. And next one is this is not in a general case, but in if you consider it for the purpose of ballistic missiles, most of the times nuclear warheads are capable in ballistic missiles, but in the case of cruise missile, primarily it is of conventional warheads, and we can also use nuclear warheads within that. So remember this thing. These are the difference between ballistic missiles and cruise missiles. Very important. What is the technology? What are the methods used? What are the difference? That is very important for your prelims examination. That can be a question. So next one is range of missiles. Just understand this range of missiles. Just remember this thing. The first one is short range ballistic missile. It will be below 1000 kilometers. That is, range will be within 1000 kilometers. As the range increases, medium range ballistic missile, it will be from 1500 to 3500. And for intermediate range ballistic missile, it is 3500 to 5500. And for it is ICBM or intercontinental ballistic missile, it is greater than 5500 kilometers. For intercontinental ballistic missile, it will be 5500 kilometers. And next comes cryogenic engine. This is also very important. What is cryogenic engine and what is the purpose of cryogenic engine and how it is essential for a missile system. First one, cryogenic engine or cryogenic engine uses a cryogenic fuel. That is, it is a fuel or oxidizer are gases liquefied and stored at very low temperature. This cryo means very low temperature. That is, its oxidizer, fuel or both will be kept in a very low temperature. That is the primary idea. For example, in the case of normal case, oxygen and hydrogen used in cryogenic engine will be at minus 180 degrees Celsius and minus 253 degrees Celsius. That is, there will be cryo storage of both oxidizer and the fuel, or independently. Sometimes it will be only fuel or only oxidizer, or sometimes it will be both of them. And next one is a cryogenic rocket is more efficient. If you consider the cryogenic rocket engine and other type of solid or liquid fuel engine, most of the time cryogenic engine will be more efficient. It is more efficient because its specific impulse is high. That is, specific impulse is the gauge for rating the efficiency of rocket. How much thrust is produced within a few minutes. That is the idea of 1 second. That is the idea of specific impulse. And related to cryogenic engine, the specific impulse is very high for cryogenic engine. That is, cryogenic engine has high specific impulse. That's why it have a very high efficiency. That is, efficiency of cryogenic engine is very high. And again, the most of the times oxygen and hydrogen are used as the fuel and oxidizer. Hydrogen as fuel and oxygen as oxidizer. It will be kept at a temperature of minus 183 and minus 273. And you can say that, or there can be a statement, both oxygen and hydrogen in a cryogenic engine is kept below 0 Kelvin. There can be a question. Both oxygen and hydrogen is kept below 0 Kelvin or minus 273 degrees Celsius. That is not correct. It is above 0 Kelvin. 0 Kelvin is the final point we can know or we can create. So it is not possible. So mark it as wrong. So that's it for cryogenic engine. Next one is we will be moving to Agni 5. Agni 5. Agni 5 is a ICBM, Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, developed by DRDO and manufactured by Bharat Dynamics Limited. That is, Agni 5 is a intercontinental ballistic missile developed by DRDO and manufactured by Bharat Dynamics Limited. What is the range for an intercontinental ballistic missile? What is the range of intercontinental ballistic missile? We already discussed. What is the range?
5,000 to 1,000.
5,000 kilometers.
More than 5,500 kilometers. More than 5,500 kilometers. Remember the range. That is very important. Most of the time there will be questions based on this. Okay. So next comes Agni missiles. It is a part of Integrated Guided Missile Development Project started in 1982. So remember that it is a part of IGDMP. You should also read about all the missiles of IGDMP if time permits. read about IGDMB and missiles development. For example, Nag is there, then Prithvi is there, different missiles are there. I'm only taking very important for your prelims this time, and there can be a question from these portions also, but you should definitely go through integrated guided missile development program also. And the benefit of Agni 5 is that higher reliability, longer shelf life, less maintenance, and enhanced mobility. That is, it is easy to carry. It can be kept in a way, idle condition for a very long time, and low maintenance is there. High reliability, quality of service, or quality of the target is also, or targeting capacity is also very high. The operational range, specifically operational range is more than 5,500, that is 5,500 to 5,800 kilometers, and covers a range of this. This will be the range covered by Agni missile, and its weights around 50 tons or 50,000 kilograms, sorry, and the length that is not required, and speed. Remember the speed is very high than speed of sound. That is Mach 24 is the speed of Agni missile. Normally, when we consider the cruise missile, it will be having a speed of around maximum for hypersonic speed. It will be around 5 for a hypersonic. If a missile is going above 5 Mach, that means it is an hypersonic missile. But if you consider Agni 5, it is Mach 24, very high speed missile. Remember that, and it is a 3-stage solid engine. It has a 3-stage solid engine, and primarily it can carry nuclear warhead of 1,500 kg. And you should also compare between Agni 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That is, initially Agni 1 having 700 kilometers, then 2,000 kilometers, 2,500 kilometers, and Agni 4 was a intermediate range missile that is greater than 3,500 kilometers, and finally we have successfully developed ICBM Agni 5. Okay, so next comes BrahMos missile. This is also very important. BrahMos missile. BrahMos is the heaviest weapon to be deployed on Sukhoi 30. Just remember that is fact. And BrahMos is a joint development, or BrahMos is a joint development of Russia's Mashintroinia and India's DRDO. That is, Russia's defense development project along with India's DRDO produced BrahMos missile. And the major important thing related to BrahMos is that it is capable of being launched from land, sea, and air. All the three warhead or war region can be, or frontiers of war can be utilized, or BrahMos can be utilized in all the three frontiers, land, sea, and air can be utilized. And primarily, initially, it had a range of 290 to 300 kilometers. And after India joining MDCR, it is being increased to 400 kilometers, around 400 to 450 kilometers. It has been increased to 400 to 450 kilometers. And the basic is that it is a 2-stage missile. It does not use a cryogenic engine. It is a 2-stage missile. First one is solid, and second one is ramjet. That is a jet engine. Ramjet engine is used because already we have discussed that in the cruise, primarily the engine will be a jet engine. That is the idea. And it, if you consider BrahMos 1, it will be having a speed of Mach 2.8 to 3 Mach, maximum speed of 3 Mach. And we are proposing BrahMos 2 also. It is currently in development. It is a hypersonic missile that is more than 5 Mach, more than 5 Mach. We are in development, not yet completed, in development, hypersonic. If BrahMos 2 comes very sooner, then it will be the first hypersonic cruise missiles available in the world. It is one of the fastest cruise missiles available right now. So it is also considered as the fastest anti-ship cruise missile in operation, BrahMos 1. Okay, so remember that. Next one is Nirbhay subsonic cruise missile. As the name suggests, it is the speed of the missile is less than speed of the sound. That is 0.7 to 0.9 Mach. 0.7 to 0.9 Mach. Subsonic missile 0.7 to 0.9 Mach. And next one is, it has a capacity known as sea skimming or terrain hugging. For example, if the most of the time radars will be having a range. Consider here is a radar. Okay, consider this is a radar. This is a radar located somewhere in our enemy country, and it will be focusing in a such a way. But this Nirbhay subsonic cruise missile is able to travel or in flight very close to terrestrial region. So most of the time it will be hidden from the radar. That is the major importance of subsonic cruise, Nirbhay subsonic cruise missile. It can fly at a level of tree level or just above that. That is the idea of Nirbhay subsonic missile, and it can stay under enemy radar to avoid detection for very long time. Only when it reaches very closer to radar, the radar can identify the missile. And it is a two-stage missile. Again, it is a two-stage missile. First stage is using solid fuel, and second stage will be using liquid fuel. Second stage will be using liquid fuel, and it can carry a conventional warhead of 300 kilograms. It can carry a conventional warhead of 300 kilometers, and its range it is having a longer range. It can be travel up to, or the subsonic Nirbhay subsonic cruise missile can travel up to 1500 kilometer range as well. Remember that. And most of the time the missile will be flying within 50 kilometers, 50 meters of the height, or 50 meters to 4 kilometers from the ground. That is very important. And it can do course correction and all that thing, and it can be fired from sea, land and mobile launchers. According to BrahMos, it is air, sea and land, but in the case of Nirbhay, it is only sea and land and also mobile launches. Next one is Astra missile. Astra missile is an air-to-air missile, and it is using BVRAM technology, or beyond virtual range air-to-air missile. The primary idea is to primary idea is to get targets in the midair, that is flights or in a combat position. It can be utilized very effectively. It has a very high speed, that is around 4.5 Mach is the speed of Astra missile. It is an air-to-air missile. It is developed by DRDO. So remember that also, Astra missile. And next one is Prithvi Air Defense and Advanced Air Defense. Next one is Prithvi Air Defense and Advanced Air Defense. Within Prithvi Air Defense System, there is high altitude interception and low altitude interception, and we have also developed another one known as Ashwin Advanced Air Defense System for some specific. We have also developed Ashwin Air Defense System for some specific quality or precision activity. We have also developed Ashwin system. So under Prithvi, Prithvi can target a missile coming from 5,000 kilometers above. That is, we can already identify we can use the radar systems to understand the incoming trajectory of the incoming missile, and we can use Prithvi. What is the specialty of Prithvi is that Prithvi can target missiles at a very high time. That is, exo-atmosphere targeting is possible with Prithvi. Prithvi is exo-atmospheric in nature. That is, it primarily attacks the missiles outside the atmosphere of Earth. That is, it attacks missiles outside the atmosphere of Earth. When it comes to advanced air defense or Ashwin AAD, it will be attacking the system within the. It will be attacking the missiles within the. It will be attacking the missiles within the atmosphere. It is endo-atmospheric. Prithvi is exo-atmospheric, Ashwin is endo-atmospheric. Both are developed by DRDO, and it is Ashwin AAD is the advanced version of low altitude supersonic ballistic interceptor missile. And the idea here is that it can be used in from a mobile launcher or anything like that, and it is endo-atmospheric, and it interferes ballistic missiles. Most of the time it can interfere ballistic missiles at an altitude of 6,000 to 10,000 feet. That is within the atmospheric levels. These are the missile system or technology behind missile systems. And again, we will be focusing on other types of systems also. Yesterday we have completed about few ideas related to digital developments, all the ideas important to your prelims examination. All these sessions will be at a minimum 30 hours, maximum 45 to 50 minutes. That is our strategy. It will be happening every day on a regular basis at 3:30 or 4 p.m. You can connect it via Google Meet. And tomorrow we will be looking into another session. That is, we will be looking into biotechnology or similar topics, science and technology topics. We will complete science and technology by this week and next week. And after that, we will move to the economics, important sessions from economics and other important topics. So that's it for today. We have completed missile, all the information related to missile technology for your prelims examination. We will look into another topics tomorrow. Thank you all. See you tomorrow.